Hello, I'm Johannes Roux. I've been experimenting with designs for making little angels for Christmas, and this is the latest iteration. It's made from two pieces of wood glued together, and it goes on a mantelpiece or something like that. I'm going to run you through how I do it. Enjoy. Okay, let's look at design. What we're after is a vaguely humanoid figure. The idea is that we base it on the size of a head. So if your head is a unit, in this case is 20 mil, something like that, then this line here is sort of the nipple line. We can debate for a while whether angels have nipples, but for the sake of argument, let's assume they do. And then, so we're looking at the shoulders being somewhere like that. And then that's one head height, second head height, third head height, that is the navel. Well, we can have another discussion about navels. But the point is that is the thinnest part of the body. And for the purposes of this figurine, we're just going to go full 8 heads, and it's going to have slightly below that point, maybe its waist, and then it's going to wear some kind of skirt or thing. Something along those lines. Exactly how wide we can make it and so on depends on the bit of wood. Now for the wings, what works best for me is to have the wings diameter about 6 times the head height, and the wings are going to be fixed right in the middle of the shoulders there. So the vague outline of the wings is there. And we want to cut out bits so it looks like wings, not just some disc. And what seems to work is to use the top cutout to give the impression of a halo. So we'll cut it out like that. So the wings sort of arc around the head, making it look like a halo. And then at the bottom, we want to have another cutout, and we're going to make it look like this. Right. So effectively, we've got the wing looking like that. It's going to be fixed back on the shoulders there, and then replicated there. Whoop. There we go. And in practice over there, we'll probably cut the tips off because it gets very thin. The grain is going to be running this way. That means the wings are going to be reasonably weak in this section. We'll try and make it a bit thicker there, where it's hidden behind the back. And because the wings curl forward, there's space for that. Figurine is fairly simple. I'll probably do a bit of off-center turning to flatten the chest and the back, just to make it look a bit nicer. And there's your angel. You could play with the proportions. The wings could be bigger potentially, but this works for me. I'm going to do the wings first, see how they come out, and then get the size for the figurine from that. This is a bit of ash that had come off from processing a bowl blank, I think it was, a month or so ago. Let's see what it looks like. I think this is going to be really nice. You'll see what the knot ends up doing. It likes catching on there. So the wings are going to go around this, so this is going to be mounting on the back. What I want to do is put another tenon, same size, on this side, and that will be maybe a tad smaller, so it won't mark, and that will be what gets glued onto the back of the body. And we want the wings curving around. In fact, it's catching, so I'm going to just keep this on. Okay, let's just shape the back a bit before we swap the hold. This knot is interesting, but it's got the potential of being a real nuisance. Let's see. This ash does that. The sapwood can tear quite a bit. The hardwood is a lot better. I am going to finish the front, sand it and give it a coat of oil, which I'll do off camera. It's noisy and dusty and boring. And then we'll come back when it's flipped. We'll do the back. Right, so that's sanded and oiled, except for that, because that's going to take glue. So we can mount, this is going to stay, so we're going to mount this way. We just want to finish the back. I don't want it to go too thin, so I can't play around too much. And I think I'll just rotate this so I can get a better angle. Okay, so the goal here is to get reasonably even thickness, because we're going to be piercing this, so it'll show if it isn't. Get rid of that and that, obviously, and try not to make it too thin, because that gets weak then. And try not to get a catch on there, that'd be nice. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, you can see the vibration there. I'm not sure I have a choice. I'll have to sand that out, I think. Yeah, this is untidy, but it'll come right. So as to sanding, extraction, start with, I don't know, 80 grit or something, and go on to maybe 320. Again, not going to show that, it's boring and dusty. On second thoughts, maybe I'll show this bit. I like wet sanding. Once the big job is done with a rough grit, just because it causes less dust and it fills little micro crevices. This is some world linseed oil. This is 180 grit. It clogs up the sandpaper, but it sounds nicely and there's no dust to speak of. Okay, let's do the body. Also ash. There's no hardwood in here, so it might not be so interesting. Let's see. So we're looking at 26 mil as a head height. It's about there. We give a bit of space, maybe there, and then 1, 2 and 3, and that would be the waist. And then it will be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Frankly, we can play with that, make it a bit longer if we wanted to. That's really all that we need to know about. So the neck's going to be there. Now what needs to be done is the front and back need to be flattened. Now you could just go stick it on a sanding machine or something, but you could also do a bit of off-center turning. Now you want the face, I think, to be, yeah, maybe this place over here. So where we want to flatten it is right opposite there. I think that's good. Arguably gone a bit too far. I'm losing a bit of the shoulders, but that'll do. That's the front, that's the back. That's it really. And now we part off. Great. I think after all that, I probably do need to sand a flat in there just to get a better surface, because we're going to be gluing on there and it's got a lot hanging on it. And I need to smooth this out. Now we have to finish the wings. So it's quite important to get the center line right, otherwise things look really bad. And that's about there. And then we said we wanted an arc of, it'll be 52 mil. Which side is top? I think that's top, right? So at the bottom, right there. That's the bottom. And then that same distance in, that'll be the bottom of the head there, but we want to go another 13 mil in from that. So that's the center of the halo. Now we don't want to cut into this really. So that's there. Right, need to cut that out and that. Right, now all we need to do is clean this up a bit with some sandpaper and stick it on our mannequin. I think, yeah, I'll probably blunt these tips. They're not going to be very strong. The grain runs the wrong way. But because this is reasonably thick, I think we've got some strength in there. Now all we need to do is assemble, I think. So I like to put a pin in here just to center it and give a bit of integrity. Then we mix up some epoxy, I think. Well, that's job done. I'm pleased with this. I've been evolving design. You can play around with the angles on the gaps and so on, make the wings bigger and smaller. I've also been making little ones like this, going on a tree. Nice bit of fun. Nice combination of skill tests and so on. I really enjoy that. This one worked out with a black and black and light coloured wing. You could even make a story about that. The nice thing about angels, because they're mythical beings, nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. You can do any design you want. But getting the proportions roughly what you would expect from a human probably makes it look right. If you did that completely wrong, they'll look too weird. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas.